You'll understand in a minute what I meant about fresh energy, because the stage will be given to Estonia's first astronauts in quite a bit. So this is a remarkable group of young Estonians who emerged as winners from the national Eesti otsib Estronauti, or in English, Estonia seeks an astronaut competition. This competition was much like Pop Idol, only for space enthusiasts in Estonia. Now, this initiative, organized by the Estonia's Space Office and the Ministry of Economic Affairs, challenged participants' endurance through intensive rounds involving logistical reasoning and hands-on tasks, and the top 10 finalists earning a chance to experience a zero-gravity flight in Bordeaux, France. Today, ladies and gentlemen, Elise Olt from the National Space Office will join these inspiring astronauts. But before they come on stage, let's watch a video.
Three parabola is Mars, Moon and Moon. Now this is going to be your first time in zero gravity. Remember, this is not a simulation. This is real zero gravity. The pilots are throwing us into a tiny little part of an orbit, each of us in our own little orbit, free floating, as if we're in space, as if we're in a vacuum.
So this is why they have seat belts on airplanes, to spoil all the fun. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together and welcome Saara Margaret Kaju, Timofey Goshka, Liis Tempel, and Emili Aguraiuja on the stage, and moderator Elise Olt as well.
Hello. So on Monday, March 11, 2024, Estonia's biggest space competition for school children began. The competition was for school children in the age of 13 to 19 years old. They were going through an astronaut-like competition where they were going through logical tests, physical tests, medical tests, interviews. And in the last round, as you could see, they went on a parabolic flight in Bordeaux, France, with Novaspace, with a real astronaut, and experienced zero gravity and gravity alike Moon and Mars. The purpose of the competition was to motivate young children and school children to study in the field of STEM and to promote the development of deep technology in Estonia, and really to become a trendsetter and influencer in the next generation of Estonians in the field, inspiring everyone to dream bigger and aim higher. The first round of the competition attracted nearly 200 school students, almost equally divided between girls and boys. In the end of August, the competition reached its finale with 10 astronauts and 2 reserve astronauts. They put on their blue, black, and white costumes, the same ones that you can see on the stage right now, and they stepped on board Novaspace flight in Bordeaux, France, and experienced zero gravity. They have become real space enthusiasts. As you can see, they have taken time off from their studies, their personal life and school, and they have joined our conference. And they have also expressed their dreams to continue and study space science in the future. Another remarkable fact is that they gained in social media over 1,500 followers during these competitions. Competition really became influencers in the field and spokespeople about space among their friends, family, and wider public. And the last fun fact is that one astronaut was cited by our president in the Restoration of Independence Day speech publicly. So really, put your hands together again for Estonia's first astronauts. So really happy to have you all here. To start off, I thought it would be great to get to know you on a little bit more personal level. So if you could introduce your name, say how old you are, because I think this is also interesting to know. And what are some of your hobbies, and what do you have for breakfast? We want to know.
Hi, my name is Saara. I just turned 14 yesterday.
Happy birthday.
I do athletics, I play volleyball and golf. And for breakfast, I usually have a sandwich and some seasonal fruits.
Good Estonian rice sandwich. Yes.
Hello, I'm Emili, and I'm 13. And my favorite hobbies are athletics, dancing, and tennis. I competed in the World Cup in dance, and I got second place. And I think I ate nothing today for morning. So yeah.
Hello, I'm Timofey. My best hobby is to take every project you can imagine in your life, and then cry because you also have to work at school. I'm doing different things. For example, I just recently joined Student Satellite, so I'm really involved into space industry, but also I really like Chinese tea and culture, and I'm even doing my little student business on that. And as I live in school, in dormitory, I'm just eating what school gives me in the morning.
Yeah. I'm Kai. I'm 14 in 9th grade. I like climbing, playing board games and also organizing different events. And for breakfast, I ate the fruits that they gave here because I didn't have time at home. So,
Thank you. Can you describe the competition? What did you have to do to become Estonia's first astronaut or reserve astronaut?
First of all, we had to film I think it was 1 minute long, an introduction video about ourselves. Basically, you have to say, like, hi, my name is blah, 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 blah. I like doing these things. I have competed in those competitions, and maybe say something cool about your studies or personal life.
Yeah. Then there was the logical test. You needed to answer some questions. There were 3 different levels based on the grade you were. And I think those were the easiest for me because I really like science in school and I really like to concentrate. So this was the easiest part, I think, for me.
But maybe the most important part of the competition was not the project days, but the time between them, because we had to make a lot of homework, filming the videos, doing some stuff on Instagram, posting stories, and we really became an influencers.
yeah. We also had like a physical test, and after that there was a personality test and a mental capacity test where we had a lot of the questions and a little time. So you couldn't answer all of them, so it showed how fast you could think.
It was really one of the hardest for me, because for all the competitors, the questions were the same. So they had to be challenging for a 13-year-old and a 19-year-old. So it was quite difficult.
And I think the questions were for people who want to go to the flight academy in Tartu. So they're the same that we 13 years needed to do. So it was pretty difficult. It started from easier questions and went to harder ones. So based on your age, you need to answer some kind of questions.
And the whole process of, searching for an astronaut was inspired by real tests the real astronauts have to pass prior to getting onto a flight.
Yeah, and eventually there were 16 of us, and we were placed into small groups, and we had to do a presentation about why our group should get to the parabolic flight. And they evaluated us on how we did in group work and a few questions, and then after the presentations, they picked out 10 and placed the leftover 6 people like 1 through 6, so when someone couldn't participate, go on the flight because of medical reasons, then the next person in the lineup would go.
Mm-hmm. You had a lot of extra trainings during the competition. What were some of the most useful things that you learned during the competition? I know that you also had some trainings on cybersecurity, for example. Could you elaborate a little bit more on these topics?
Yeah, I think the cybersecurity and
Social media.
Social media lecture was one of the most useful ones, because that is really a controversial thing in our everyday lives.
And because we needed to post, this was really important so we don't get ourselves into some mess, and we're good people who don't text someone when they shouldn't. So yeah, it was really useful.
But besides the cybersecurity and social media trainings, we had also on the next competition we had trainings how do you want to give an interview, and how to film a decent video. Plan everything, and the picture quality and the sound quality, and even more on the next competition days.
Yeah, and we also got to meet one of the Rakett 69's winners, the youngest winner, and he gave a presentation about what he does now, and that was really fun to listen to also.
This is good. And you had some presentation trainings as well, how to speak publicly, etc.
Yeah.
So that shows. What was the hardest for you, and what was the coolest? So highs and lows of the whole competition.
One of the hardest was probably not like outside the competition, being confident, because when I was 13 when I auditioned, and I saw lots of 19 years old there, and I thought that, I maybe don't have even like a huge chance, because they're 19. They know so many other things that I don't know, and they're physically better. They have bigger knowledge about the space itself, and yeah, I think it was pretty sad for me the first few rounds.
I think I have the same problem as Saara. So in the middle of the competition, I didn't have self-belief in me. So I was like, no, I won't make it. All the other people are better than you. You're so young. You have like other chances. But then when I got through one level, I was like, okay, maybe I can still do it. It's pretty cool. And I think I have some things to offer that others don't. So if I got to the last round, I was extremely happy because I never thought I would make it there. So maybe this was the biggest downside to me, that I didn't believe in myself as much as I should.
Oh, I would like to stop you here. You mentioned right before stepping on the stage that the video didn't resemble well of how it really felt in the parabolic flight. Would you like to elaborate a little bit more on that, like how it really felt to be on the
I really
flight?
can't describe how it felt. It's like a surreal thing. Not even swimming is close to that. It's like you still have some gravity, but there you don't have anything. You just fly, and you really can't control where you go. It just takes you where you don't want to go. So there are pretty many crashes in there because no one could control where to go. And it's just a unique thing that you cannot describe, I think.
Basically, that moment when you feel that, oh, I don't have any gravity, I'm floating, that's like so cool, and I really can't describe it. I don't think anybody can, because it's you're going to that parabolic flight, and you know that you're going to experience the zero gravity, but the feeling, the first time, it just feels too good to be true. Like, you're dreaming, but you're not. You're actually there. This half of a year you've been competing actually for something. And there you are, just floating and trying to not to mind all those other flying people.
Yeah, and the absolute zero gravity was cool, really cool. But the Mars gravity and the Moon gravity were like not way cooler than zero gravity. No, not in a way. But they were really much cooler than they appeared on the screen. You are like, you can flip, and you just want to flip forward and do something, and you are like completely in the moment. You just cannot think about other things. It is a way of meditation, I have to say. But for me, the parabolic flight, the coolest of it all. The conversating with interesting people, having really long discussions with Aaron, and very cool. But the hardest part for me was the stress management, because for the first 4 competition days, I was like with using Taoist philosophy. What happens, happens, and it's okay. But on the 5th competition day, or 2 days of competition, I thought that you can already almost touch the parabolic flight you really want there. And you're starting the first day of competition, you are doing this interview, they're ranking you who is going, 16 people, who is going and who is not going. And you do not know this ranking until the next day. And also they were kicking out the other 10 people who didn't do their homework well enough. So you have these 16 people, you don't know where you are in this ranking, and they leave you with nothing. You sleep, and then there is the next day, the medical examination, and you go to the medical examination, and you pass the medical examination, and it is still fine, but you still don't know the ranking. You don't know if you are at the bottom, if you are exactly at the top. So you were living 2 days in a huge stress, and they give us none information. And by the end, when they already, maybe an hour before they said the results, everybody was already like, oh, I don't care. Because you are just so, you coped so much. So the stress management on these final 2 days of competition, like, wow, it was really hard.
Yeah, I would add that I was actually one of the backup people. So for me, during the competition, the hardest part was the social media and that. But I was like the first choice after the 10 people who went. But even though I didn't get to go on the actual parabolic flight, I would say that all the effort I put into it and everything that I learned was still like worth it, just because I got to meet so cool people and learned so much during it. So.
And actually, on the day of medical examination, out of the competition had fallen. I mean, the people who really had to go to the parabolic flight, there was a Katariina Aas, the Hendrik Pärli, both working in the satellite for more than a year on the day of the examination. So they were really in the topic, they were really motivated, and they had fallen out only for some little medical reasons, and that was really sad. So when they announced the results, everybody knew that the most valuable people, the most motivated people, sadly had fallen out, and yeah, that was really sad. But we got the flight. We got to make parabolas.
Thank you. Liis, you mentioned that it was still worth it even though you couldn't go on the flight. What have been some of the most useful skills you've learned during the competition, or what have you taken away and what have you found useful for your daily life later on after the competition?
Yeah, one thing I would definitely say is the social media part, because I had to push myself to post things, because there was a minimum I had to hit. So I told myself I will do the bare minimum so I don't fall out. So
I'd like to add that I started going places just to post those stories. Like, oh, today I went to hike with my family, only because I posted one story that maybe didn't get I don't know, maybe it got only 14 likes and whole 3 hours of hiking just for that.
Yeah, and other than the social media, just connecting with people is so valuable, and that's the part I took with myself, because the 3 days we spent in Bordeaux, we played card games, we spoke, we had so much fun there. So just connections with people. And there's one other thing I don't remember.
Actually, I want to mark that we were playing cards even prior 10 minutes to first parabola. So it was really a good team vibe, team connection. You are wearing the same suits, you are going somewhere together, and you get the same badges. Badges are cool. It was really nice.
Yeah, I just remembered what I wanted to say. I think that joining the competition or like finishing it was like, through that I realized that I wanted to take part in as many things as I could, so that I wouldn't let possibilities like pass me by. So just that, like, if you see something fun, just do it. If it seems like embarrassing or something, just try. It could be very fun. Yeah.
Also, I'm really curious to ask, according to the flight team, Estonian school students group was the first one to not have anyone vomit on the flight. How did you do it? Do you have a theory? Why was that? Did you have just a really good preparation, or are Estonians just made out of really good material? Or
Maybe
is it
we
the
were
breakfast?
like really motivated because the others, they paid like 7,500. We get it for free. So we were like really motivated to make the best out of it because free is free.
They gave they gave them drugs, so everyone got a pill, so you wouldn't vomit so easily. Yeah.
People vomit even after taking the drugs, so that's really
True,
impressive. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we all also are very excited, and we didn't have time to think about that. We're like, oh yes, we are finally here, we're finally here. I don't care what will happen. And also, yeah, I think it was the mood, that everyone was always there for each other. And when I think one of the girls felt a bit bad, and all the others comforted her, like, no, it's okay, just chill, sit there and relax when the relaxing time is, and she got over it.
About the excitement, I've talked about this parabolic flight many, many times, and there was this one question that has been asked very many times. Weren't you like afraid that you're gonna die? Like, how? And now when I think back at it, I'm really surprised that I didn't feel like that. Sadly, we didn't get to see that clip, but I was literally jumping before we got to that parabolic flight because like it has been my dream for like as long as I can remember. But yeah, now I think that maybe those adults on that flight, we weren't the only passengers. Maybe they, who are more mature and adult, then maybe they felt like they were like really old, and they were like really, really old. And maybe they felt that no, not yet, but okay, I paid so much so much for it, and yeah, just happy that it was free and I'm young.
Great answers. One final question from me. Who do you want to become in the future? Has this answer changed after this experience?
It's one of the hardest questions, always, because I'm in 7th grade right now, and in my school, I don't have even science yet. So I feel like I still have many other ideas. I could have more ideas, but now I still feel more that I really want to become an astronaut. Because when I felt that zero gravity, I knew that this is where I belong. I just want to stay there for a bit longer than those 16 parables.
Yeah, when zero gravity is ending and you are, back on the ground, out of the plane, you just really wanna like jump and fly, but it just doesn't work, sadly.
Oh, gravity.
So yeah, I have wanted to become a doctor since I was 3, but now after the parabolic flight, it was the first time I actually thought that, oh, maybe the doctor is not the best thing for me, and maybe something in being an astronaut is even more like my thing, because I'm a really adventurous person. I like to go to different places and experience new things. So it really pushed me to another direction, thinking that there are many other jobs out there in space and that I can work with.
For me, the astronaut competition really just unlocked another branch of career path. So prior to that, I thought mainly on some kind of neurobiology or psychology, and now it's just, a little more. Maybe trying myself in business, the space business, space things. Maybe. Okay, the best case scenario, I'm not gonna be very original, but it is to become an astronaut. But not a lot of people become an astronaut, so maybe a space business, but I really leave myself a place to choose from. So that's why I participate in all the different things and don't go to school.
Yeah, I also don't have a specific plan, but it did push me a bit more to science and space. So it's still wide, and other stuff is still possible, but we'll see. It all influences it in little ways. So
I think if the main goal of astronaut project was to influence young people to get more interesting in space industry, I really have to admit that for me, and I guess not only for me, that goal was accomplished, and I'm really proud of that. I think the astronaut project could be done one more time in several years, or maybe several times. That would be really cool.
Yeah, it would be cool if the next step would be an astronaut on moon. Think about
Yeah,
that.
it is really
It's
cool.
it's like the cube.
Where can I sign?
See, you're ready.
It's like the cube rover, but astronaut rover. We are going step by step, both on moon.
I know that you're really excited to show a tradition that you learned during the astronaut competition. Could we have some music, please, and end up with?
Yeah. So we had a really cool thing. No matter if we were waiting for results and everyone was almost dying from stress, or we had just a really important event with a president of Estonian Republic, we were doing only one thing, definitely, dancing jumpalaulu. And it is not only a great way to do team building, but also a great way to lower the stress and anxiety. So as we are all sitting here for quite a long time, I encourage you all also to stand up and dance with us.
Jumpalaulu is like a Finnish version of the head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes.
Pää, olkapää, peppu, polvet, varpaat. Polvet, varpaat. Pää, olkapää, peppu, polvet, varpaat. Polvet, varpaat. Silmät, korvat ja vatsa taputa. Pää, olkapää, peppu, polvet, varpaat. Polvet, varpaat.
Goes faster.
Pää, olkapää, peppu, polvet, varpaat. Polvet, varpaat. Pää, olkapää, peppu, polvet, varpaat. Polvet, varpaat. Silmät, korvat ja vatsa taputa. Pää, olkapää, peppu, polvet, varpaat. Polvet, varpaat. Pää, olkapää, peppu, polvet, varpaat. Polvet, varpaat. Pää, olkapää, peppu, polvet, varpaat. Polvet, varpaat. Silmät, korvat ja vatsa taputa. Pää, olkapää, peppu, polvet, varpaat. Polvet, varpaat. Pää, olkapää, peppu, polvet, varpaat. Polvet, varpaat. Pää, olkapää, peppu, polvet, varpaat. Polvet, varpaat. Silmät, korvat ja vatsa taputa. Pää, olkapää, peppu, polvet, varpaat. Hei!
Good memories. I hope our mentors and organizers will be proud of us doing the traditional.
Thank you. From our side, we're open to perhaps some more questions if we have time from the public.
Are there any more questions, ladies and gentlemen? I don't think I see any on Menti right now, but it's because you were dancing, of course. You can't type while you're dancing. Let's see if there's anything coming up. Because I don't think we need a coffee break, right? Everyone's like super energized now, so we can take this half an hour to just come up with questions, if you have any.
You can meet the astronauts throughout tonight and ask them questions if you have any.
There's a hand. Let's wait for a microphone, then we can hear you better.
The second place in World Cup was same dance?
Yeah, in dance.
No, same dance, what we're dancing.
Yeah, unfortunately no, but it shouldn't be.
Any other questions about choreography or space or?
Yep. What did the teachers and classmates said after you returned back to school after trainings?
The most common saying was, "Here comes Saara the astronaut."
I think at the first everyone was amused, and then about 2 weeks everything wore off and you were a normal student back in school. But all the teachers were kind of like wanting to talk to you, like, "Oh, what did you do? It was so cool," and like trying to be the
all
favorite
those
teacher.
teachers that previously didn't like you started liking you. So
Yeah,
really positive.
I returned to other school because I went to my 10th grade in high school, and I'd never seen my teachers which teach me before for now. But we got some pack of badges like this. But this is, flight badge. This is the most important. You don't give this away. You give this pack of badges. So I sent one badge to my previous school. I hope they enjoyed, they liked it. And I just use, this astronaut title and everything to try to, get some network and influence people. And I also got one badge for the head of my school. I hope he likes me more now. Yeah, but usually when I mention this thing, people are like, "Oh, really? Oh, you are? Oh, okay, interesting." And some people ask me to tell a little bit about it, and I hope more people will get to know astronauts in the future by doing more projects. Yeah, that's for me.
Yeah, I would also say that some people asked about it. Oh yeah, cool, you did that, and I also gave some badges away. Just really.
Some of my friends were a bit disappointed because, wait, Saara, it didn't fly freely between Saturn and some asteroids in that costume. You weren't even let out of the plane. You just stayed in the plane and you didn't see any stars. You didn't see Mars. You weren't on Mars. And it was a bit sad to say, yeah, no, sorry.
Leave something for the future.
Exactly.
Anyone else, ladies and gentlemen? Any more questions? Well, if not, then put your hands together again for young Estonian astronauts. Thank you so much.